Welcome to a More Beautiful World podcast with Susyn Renee, a place for those of us with the desire to expand our consciousness, tap into higher vibrations of love, and to connect into a community where together we can make the world a more beautiful place. I'm so eager to share with you what I've learned on my journey in discovering how we're all connected and how what we do for one, we do for us all. Here, I'll be sharing my own experiences, knowledge, and expertise for how you can heal, transform, and ascend your being so that together we can create the more beautiful world we all know is possible. Well, hello, dear tribe, and welcome to another episode of A More Beautiful World. I'm really excited to share with you this episode today because we are going to be going through a simple method that helps you find purpose, prosperity, peace, and health in your life. It's what I use in my practice with clients. And today I want to share it with you so you can also begin to use it in your own life. So, just like all of us are connected to each other, our individual body, minds, and souls are intertwined within us as well. So, in this episode, this method that I'm going to be covering, I call it the ascension paradigm. And it really includes some practices that you can incorporate from each pillar of the paradigm, which is the body, mind, and soul medicines. And I'm going to be sharing that with you today so you can start using it to find more purpose, prosperity, peace, and health in your life. So, as we get started, and before we really dive in, always ask yourself a few questions. So, do you feel connected to your purpose in life? Do you feel prosperous right now? Do you find yourself feeling peaceful and calm, at least a majority of the time? And do you feel like you're in the best state of health in your life right now? Where you're experiencing abundant energy. Do you have that abundant energy and, the resources available to you? So ponder those questions as we go through today, because again, this method I'm going to be sharing is going to help you answer those questions if you incorporate the practices. So before we dig in, I'm going to take a little step upwards and talk about spiritual wellness mentoring, because I think it helps set the stage for why the ascension paradigm exists, why it was created, why I've kind of put it together, and why I'm sharing it with you today. So when we look at spirituality, right, there are a lot of different meanings and connotations around spirituality. But it's ultimately about seeking a meaningful connection with something greater than yourself and really connecting into your own sacred meaning or your purpose in your life and finding peace in your life when you're connected to that purpose. So if we take that and then look at the definition of well-being or wellness, it's having health and happiness and prosperity in your life, and also having high satisfaction, feeling good and functioning well. So combining those two, when we look at spiritual wellness, right? So if you are following me, you, I'm sure, have some interest in spiritual wellness since I am a spiritual wellness mentor. And it is all about connecting into something greater than yourself with spiritual wellness and connecting and finding your sacred alignment and your purpose so you can feel peaceful and healthy and happy and prosperous and really connect into the joy and the satisfaction in living this life. So I chose spiritual wellness mentor very carefully when I was looking at the language I was choosing, because I want to guide you, right? And support you and train you on how to do this. And we do it with the ascension paradigm. So the years that I've been on my journey and all the studying I've been doing, all the certifications that I have, has led me to this paradigm. And it's really a beautiful paradigm. And as I share with you, and the reason I'm sharing with you is because some people can achieve this on their own. They can incorporate practices on their own. But some people find, working with someone like myself or other spiritual coaches or mentors out there, they can get faster results. And therefore, they seek out support with something like this. But for those of you out there who are like, you know what, maybe I want to try it myself and see what this is all about, I want to kind of talk to you again about the pillars of this ascension paradigm and, allow you to maybe do a bit of a self-assessment. We'll talk about that today. And where you're at on your spiritual wellness journey, because I want you to ultimately have the knowledge of this model so that you can raise your vibration, right? And you can incorporate each of the facets of body, mind, and soul medicines to really connect into something greater than yourself and find that peace and purpose and increase your health and your well-being. So the ascension paradigm is a model to raise your vibration. All right. It's all about changing our energy so we can change our life. And if we want to better ourselves, right, and better our lives, so we can ultimately beautify this world, we want to increase our energy, right? Raise our vibration, increase our vibration. So the ascension paradigm does just that by combining body, mind, and soul medicines. So back when I was studying holistic nutrition, we kind of looked at a very similar concept, which we called the cycle of influencing energy. And the pillars in that, we're looking a little more body focused, but we included anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and then energetics and emotions. And so that was kind of our holistic nutrition, paradigm of it. So as I've been on my journey and, really digging into the spiritual wellness journey and incorporating more of the body, mind, and soul medicines, not just the body medicines, which I'll tell you guys about, but that is where I learned that this ascension paradigm, and it was created from the fact that we need all of those components in order to really optimize this spiritual wellness. So I want to kind of break down the body, the mind, the soul medicines a bit for you today. And really, how can we assess where you're at right now and look to incorporate maybe some new practices for you in order to, again, raise your vibration and connect into, right, that purpose and find your peace and find your prosperity and increase your health and well-being. So as we, step into the model of the ascension paradigm, again, it is three pillars: the body, the mind, the soul medicines. So I'm going to take each one and talk to you about some therapies and practices that help us strengthen those pillars. If you think about the concept of a flywheel, which if you just kind of take three circles in your mind and connect them with the circle, the more that we do for one of those circles, the more it helps the spin or the cycle of energy go around them. So if we started with body medicines, the more we do in body medicines, the more it helps the mind medicines and it helps our mind clear out and be more open and receptive to those. The more we work on mind medicines, the more it helps our soul medicines and opens us up to dive deeper in our soul medicines. And then the more we do with that, the more connected we are into, our body and what our body needs. And so there's this beautiful cycle that happens when we concentrate on these three pillars together, especially because we start to get this beautiful cycle that happens as they all continue to build. And like a flywheel, the more momentum that you get going, the more energy you have coursing through the body, mind, and soul, the more and more it will ultimately raise your vibration and increase your energy. So let's start with body medicines and break down some of the things that we can use in body medicines. So a sign that you might have if you are in need of some body medicines is any sort of like physical dis-ease in the body. So if there are any diagnoses, that you may have, if there are any ailments, anything that just doesn't feel good in the physical body, right? That is a sign you could benefit from some more body medicines. So a few of the things in body medicines are going to be things like joyful movement. And when I say joyful movement, Medicines that we incorporate are not about punishing ourselves, by going to the gym and like punishing ourselves on a treadmill or anything. To truly make it medicine, we want to find joy in it. So, movement is so amazing for a medicine for the body. I personally am a huge fan of yoga because I think there are so many varieties of yoga that can really be customized to the individual and what the individual needs. But whatever you find joy in movement, it can be biking, it can be walking, it can be running, it can be trail running, hiking, playing tennis, swimming. There are so many different ways we can move our body. But the key to make it medicine is to make it joyful. Nutrition is another amazing body medicine, and optimizing your nutrition for your body, and getting out of a cycle of following fad diets or punishing yourself with restrictive eating. There are a lot of ways that people are using food not as medicine, right? And it's about learning what your body truly needs for its nourishment, connecting into that, and then using nutrition to guide you so you can use food and herbs and supplements as medicine, which we have other episodes all about deep dives in that. So, some other body medicines, cleansing therapies are beautiful. There's liver cleansing, there's 28-day cellular cleansing, there's even little bits of juice cleansing you can build in. There are a lot of different cleansing modalities and therapies, but those are really beautiful as a medicine for the body. Some of what we call essential therapies in holistic medicine, things like clean water, and getting sunlight on your skin and going outside and earthing, connecting into the earth's electromagnetic frequencies, right? Making sure you have clean air and that the air that you're breathing in is clean and filtered. And even things like infrared sauna therapy, are going to be a body medicine, and getting into the lymphatic tissues and sweating out toxins. And, massage is a wonderful body medicine. Massage will help you get in, and again, move some of the lymph fluid around and get rid of toxins. And there are a host more. We could probably spend the entire episode just listing out all of the different body medicines. But as you can see, because of the variety of them, right, it's not like we're going to be doing all of those every single day. So when we start to look at the mind medicines and the soul medicines, the mind and soul medicines can help us identify what body medicines we need. So again, you see, these are all going to work together. So there are certain foundational things you can set, with your body medicines. You can get your nutrition dialed in for you, and you can find some joyful movement. But from there, even as seasons change and as we get older and go through different experiences in life, our body medicines are going to change. And that's where, learning all about the different medicines, and again, pairing it with the mind and soul medicines and getting more in touch with what you need and becoming more aware, is when you can really optimize the body medicines. So again, there's a lot to choose from, and we'll kind of circle back after I go through all of these to help you understand, how you can use these and assess where you're at right now and choose some to maybe incorporate for yourself. So the next pillar of the ascension paradigm are the mind medicines. And the mind medicines include a lot of different things, just like body medicines. And you'll even notice some body, mind, soul medicines overlap a little bit because everything's connected. A lot of times what we do for one, we do for them all. But with mind medicines, things like talk therapy, and just even communicating and expressing your needs can be a beautiful way to kind of work through some of the issues of the mind and not be bottling things up inside. Yoga, which, as I'm sure you remember, I mentioned in body medicines, is also a mind medicine. Yoga literally means yoking the body and the mind together. So we can get a lot of mind and mental benefits and emotional benefits out of a yoga practice, which is why it's included in a mind medicine. Some other mind medicines are things like gratitude journaling and even journaling in general. There are so many benefits to just getting what's in our mind out of our mind and clearing that out and sorting through it and getting it organized. Art therapy is another great mind medicine. And again, expressing some of the things that are in our mind and getting it out. Sometimes we're just too caught up in our minds and we need to get what's in there out of there as part of our journey in bettering ourselves and raising our vibration. Um, Switching over and being very mindful of your language and using more positive language is a beautiful mind medicine. That simple shift can be really helpful in moving us from a place of lack to a place of abundance and rewiring neural pathways in our brains. Same with gratitude journaling. Both of those practices can do a lot for our minds and be very medicinal in helping us make new neural pathways so our brains can fire in different ways and in more positive ways, in ways that, again, are helping us connect more into that peace, that purpose, that prosperity and health. Another fun mind medicine, which actually there's a lot of work involved in it as well, but some of the psychedelic medicines and plant medicines out there can be wonderful, for the mind and for healing. They say, whoever they are out there, but it is said that a journey with ayahuasca and doing an ayahuasca retreat is like 10 years of therapy in one night. And I can attest to that. That certainly is a big mind medicine. And there are other things out there like psilocybin and MDMA and other medicines that can really help us in healing our mind. So, other mind medicines too are practices like reframing belief systems, rewriting stories of our past. Doing some meditation is actually a form of mind medicine. Doing visualization work, doing breath work can help us, open up pathways in our mind and clear out some excess energy and a whole lot more. So, again, just like body medicines, there are a ton of different mind medicines as well. But as you can see, these are all going to work together. So, as we move and talk a little bit about soul medicines, again, you're going to see some overlaps here. But meditation is absolutely one of my favorite soul medicines. I think it is a soul medicine because it helps us tap into our soul, to our higher self, to our spirit. And, that is what will get us into that sacred connection, that sacred alignment to connect into our purpose. So I love meditation as a primary soul medicine, but also things like prayer, and actually praying for the things that we want and getting our bodies, aligned in our desires. Breath work is another amazing soul medicine. It's really incredible how just manipulating our breath and doing some breath work practices can connect us into our higher self, into the spiritual realm, into the quantum realm, whatever you might want to call it. But there's a lot of amazing and powerful, profound things we can do with breath work. Forgiveness is a soul medicine. Again, with thinking about soul medicines, I like to think about soul medicines as anything that really brings us more peace, more joy, more appreciation, gratitude, acceptance, love, a feeling of oneness, beingness, compassion, kindness, just awe, ecstasy, bliss, like anything that gets us into those higher vibrational states of emotion and being, that is going to be a soul medicine. So even things like mindfulness practices and practices of being more present, things like, expanding your awareness, spending time out in Mother Earth, and in nature. If it brings you, that peace, that joy, that gratitude, that love in your heart, it's going to be a soul medicine. That is some good shit for your soul. Okay. So Just a real quick story about why, incorporating body, mind, and soul medicines is so important. So I'm going to share a quick personal story, but honestly, I see this so often with my clients too. So for me, I started studying holistic nutrition back in 2010. So gosh, like over 11 years ago now. And when I started learning about it, all I started to do was like focus on the body medicines. It was like, okay, I'm trained in nutrition. I know a lot about nutrition. And so I got like really strict with my diet and my supplements and almost actually a bit too restrictive now that I look back and can see it in hindsight. But I was really into how I cared for my physical body. And I felt like I could cure anything with just, some diet changes and some supplements. And I will say that immensely helped my healing. And I overcame a lot of different disease processes. And I really improved my energy production, which was huge for me. But I was still not in optimal health. I wasn't feeling very peaceful. I wasn't feeling very happy, or prosperous, or again, I had made some strides in my health, but I wasn't as healthy as I knew I wanted to be. And I surely at that time wasn't deeply connected into my purpose. I had a couple of whispers of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't deeply connected. At the time I was in a marriage that wasn't serving my highest good, I just wasn't dealing with the emotions that needed to be healed around that. I was still in a very critical, like self-critical mindset, almost of like self-hatred. I was very lacking in self-love. And at that time, as all this is going on, I am again like diehard with my nutrition, going diehard with nutrition and supplementation, and things just weren't getting any better. And my mentor at the time told me that I wasn't going to heal any further and I wasn't going to get any more unless I decided to face my emotions and dig into my mind and my soul to really experience true healing. And didn't really want to hear that. I really wanted everything to be fixed with just, maybe a new smoothie or something. But ultimately, that was a big turning point for me. And that's when I did start to journal more, and I got more into a practice of daily gratitude. And I became aware of my language and I shifted it to be more positive. And that's when I really started a more regular yoga practice. And that helped me move to start reframing some of the beliefs that I had had. And that's when I got, more consistent with my meditation practice. And that's when things really started to shift and move in my life. And, I ended my marriage and I started getting more and more clear on my purpose in life and digging deeper into that. Then I started to express my emotions and clear out things that I had been harboring since my childhood. And I got to tell you, I am still building and reassessing, and I am constantly going through those body, mind, and soul medicines and tapping in meditation, and asking spirit what I need. So it's a journey, right? It's all about the journey. It's not about the destination. Um, so I'm honoring that though, and I've learned how to honor what I need and make sure that I'm nourishing each of the pillars in the ascension paradigm and looking at body, mind, and soul medicines. So I want you to do the same. And it always does start for you with assessing what you are currently doing well. Okay, so even start with the broad body, mind, spirit. Are you taking good care of your body, your mind, or your spirit right now? Maybe yes, maybe no. Just figure out where you're at right now. Because once you know where you're at, then you can look for what opportunities you have to make some changes, to bring into your routine, to help you move forward. So let's say maybe you are like me and you've been doing like a kick ass job with your diet and like you eat really organic, you eat a lot of plants, maybe you have pretty good energy, but you're not really in tune or in touch with your emotions, and you don't really have a connection into your purpose. So for you, maybe the opportunity is to again look at some of those mind medicines, those soul medicines, and ask yourself what you can bring in order to round out your paradigm, right? And make sure you're covering each of those three pillars on your journey. So the key here, once you figure out and trust your intuition, if I was reading that list and something really jumped out to you of like, I really want to do some gratitude journaling, or I really want to get into a meditation practice, or I've been just really craving to try yoga in general or get more consistent with it, pick one. And if you're feeling, really aggressive with it, not even aggressive, if you're feeling really motivated, then maybe pick a body, a mind, and a soul medicine. All right. And bring it into your routine. The key here, though, is you've got to stay committed to it, and you've got to stay consistent, because consistency is key in order to rewire our brains and feel the real benefits of it. So pick one, and do your best to pick, again, maybe one from each that really resonates with you. But know that we all are different, and there are a lot of different body, mind, soul medicines out there. So this is where, if you do feel stuck and this feels a bit overwhelming, getting guidance from an expert like myself, or, other coaches or mentors out there, it really can be helpful, because it can help you identify where to get started, hold you accountable, and get you where you need to go faster. All right. But ultimately, making sure you work the entire paradigm and not just focus on one piece of it is important. So remember, the goal of the ascension paradigm is to raise your vibration and your level of well being. So it is to expand upon your spiritual wellness. And that's connecting into your sacredness and your purpose. So you feel peaceful and healthy and happy and prosperous and joyful. And I trust that with some self assessment and some changes in your routine, or maybe enlisting the help of a mentor like myself to support you in moving forward, I know that you will be able to raise your vibration if you commit to it. All right. And you can increase your well being, and you can truly connect into your sacredness and your divinity and your purpose. And you can feel that peace and that joy and the health and the prosperity that you've always desired. So that was a lot today. Always feel free to reach out with questions, tribe. But until next time, when I come back with you, I am going to be holding a vision of you bettering yourself with the use of this paradigm, so that ultimately we can beautify our world. So until then, much love to you all, tribe. Hey, tribe. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this podcast, make sure to like the video below and then click subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, I've got lots of free resources available to you to support your healing, transformation, and ascension, so you can help in making this a more beautiful world for us all. Make sure you check them out in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, tribe. And until next time, much love to you all.